because I don't need it anymore. And I'm going to go to my key. Now with my key, I can select my quick select tool, which we've used in the past, and I can start to, select the key itself. But you will notice that when I do this, I do get a lot of the shadows surrounding the key. Even if I minimize the size and I subtract from the selection, and I'm kind of going over this quickly only because we did this in class, you'll notice that I don't know, I'm not getting the best selection I feel I can get for this. I feel like it's kind of crunchy and it's not giving me exactly what I want. So for that reason, I want to show you another tool, and this is called the polygonal lasso tool. This tool is actually located underneath the lasso. We had gone over the lasso in class, but the polygonal lasso tool will actually just give me more of a rectilinear shape, but I can basically create multiple anchor points. So what I'm going to do with that tool is I'm just going to start to click around my key. The closer you click together, the more your shapes will be a little more organic and rounded. The further apart, the more rectilinear. So it's creating these little anchor points all around my key. Now if you have a Wacom tablet or stylus, you could get away with using just the regular lasso tool. But since many of us don't have that, I wanted to provide an option that you can use just with a mouse. This works great with geometric shapes like a key. This does not always work with super organic shapes. In that case, sometimes the quick select tool is your best option. Remember, whenever selecting, you just have to choose the tool that's right for the job, just like in all, in all things in life. Okay, that wasn't the best, but I'm just going to continue on since this is a demonstration. With any of these selection tools, what you're going to find is once you start back where you began, you can just double click and it will create the selection for you. Now in the case of this key, I don't want to select the center areas here, just like with the CD. So again, just like with the CD, I'm going to just go up to my subtract from selection button on my options bar, and now I'm just going to cut out the center parts of my key. Sometimes if you get that selection made exactly where you began, you'll get a little circle that pops up to the right corner of your tool icon. And that's kind of a way for you to see that you've completed that selection. You've gotten back to the beginning. Now I have a couple options here. The shape is a little more complicated than the CD, so I might want to go ahead and do a layer mask. So I'm going to double click on that background layer to make it a plain old simple layer, and then I'm going to hit my layer mask just to see how I did with my selection. It's pretty good. If I want to refine it, I right click on my layer mask icon and I hit refine mask. And at this point, I can just select a radius and maybe smooth my image edges a little bit. This is a relatively nice selection, so I'm not too worried about it. And because I'm going to move this, I'm going to go ahead and apply my layer mask because I don't want an extra option laying around. So I'm going to right click and just select apply layer mask. And then just like with my CD, I'm going to hit my move tool and drag my key into my midterm demo. Okay, I'm done with my key. Now, with my plant, I'm most likely going to use my quick select tool because this is definitely an organic shape. So, it would be very difficult to use something like the marquee tool or the lasso tool for this. So I'm just trying to grow this out as best as I can, getting most of the leaf. And then I'm going to subtract from the selection because I did catch some of the background here, and I certainly don't want that. Okay, so now that I've subtracted from the selection, again I'm going to double click on that layer and then mask it, just so I can see what I've got going on. And if I wanted to refine that mask, I right click on the layer mask and I go up, increase my radius, and maybe just smooth and feather. This isn't a perfect selection. I've got some edges, and in a perfect world I would actually go back and reselect that. But for now this will work. I'm going to right click on that mask icon, hit apply layer mask, and then just move that leaf into my midterm demo. Now that I've completed that particular file, I'm closing it, and I'll use the same quick select tool with this leaf, which should be relatively painless because it's a pretty simple selection. I probably shouldn't have said that because now I'm going to have some issues. I'm going to just add down here because it's actually kind of taking away some of the leaf here that I wanted. So I went back to my options bar and just hit the add button. And now I'm hitting the subtract to take away some of this. You know, the quick select tool is a great tool, but like any tool, it has its pros and cons. Shadows can sometimes really confuse it depending on the shape and the color and all that. Again, I'm going to double click on that leaf. I'm going to mask it. Ooh, it's super crunchy on the bottom, so I definitely want to refine that mask. And just increase the radius, maybe place this on a white background so I can really see that, and smooth out those edges. I really need a nice smooth edge for this. Okay, there we go. I'll right click on the mask, apply it, and then move that leaf to my midterm demo. Okay, so what I have now is a midterm demo with a background layer, that's my templated image, a CD, a key layer, and then 2 leaves. I'll just name those leaf 1 and leaf 2. Okay, now that I have that all set, what I want to do is start to create my composition. So first I have to determine which one of these objects I want to use for the Eiffel Tower, and I think it's pretty obvious. I'm going to use the